Hello everybody, good morning. We are on day 5 of our totally RaWsome vlog here at the Wee Clan Torrance. It is Sunday morning. It is another beautiful morning. It has been blissful. We had a bit of a rest this morning and we didn't get up until 7 o'clock. Yes. Meditation was beautiful. We did a lovely live where were we? Crown Chakra meditation today. It was beautiful. And then we did our stretching. That was lovely as well. And we've just done our dance. We've come straight from our dance pretty much. We're just topping up my morning juice today. This is so beautiful. And here we are. We managed to make it to our vlog. Are we smiling? Yeah. Very serious there.
No, sorry.
I'm in the zone.
No, I'm good.
How are you doing this morning?
Who?
You. How are you doing this morning?
How am I doing this morning? I'm doing pretty well. Looking potentially forward to a 5th day of juice. So wasn't expecting that, but I'm going to go with it. And yeah, feeling pretty good. Yeah, just feeling pretty good. Yesterday was a big wall. I was so tempted to. In fact, I think there was a lot of hunger in this household yesterday, but we seemed to get it satisfied in either eating some raw or bulking up a juice with a bit of banana and turning it into a very light smoothie, which seemed to be more than satisfying. I think I had 1 glass and realised just how full I really was, and that's kept us going through the night into today. Looking forward to making some new fresh juices. So giant watermelon that's about to turn into a big, it's huge. It was about 6 kilos or something, this watermelon. So looking forward to getting the juice out of that, and yeah, just having a sunshine day.
How are you doing today, Jimmy?
Yes, I'm good. I'm good. The juice is good, although I'm not quite juice only. I've been having bits of food here and there. Yes, I've succumbed to temptation and had myself a naked bar, which isn't really raw apparently. So they lie. Be careful about, even though you can taste it's a lot healthier than a normal chocolate bar. It's not quite a raw bar, so it's serve something else.
I think you, like many people, have a lot of difficulty in a raw diet giving up on all the sweet treats. Even though what we're having is so sweet, and our house is just absolutely brimming right now with sweet treats, is not what you're looking for. Because we're so attached to, I don't know, some sort of.
I think it's the wrong type of sugar that we're getting, if you know what I mean. So we're getting good sugars. We're getting fructose-based sugars, I suppose, which I guess there's different arguments about them, but it's not processed. That's sort of highly processed.
Yes, absolutely.
Sugars, even what the brain's craving. I think that's what I was kind of hitting yesterday as well. Was just this need for, I don't know, fats and sugars and stuff to hit my brain and kind of go, yay, party. Yeah.
I feel so very lucky because I'm not giving up much to do this diet.
No.
I like chocolate and crisps. I'm a big fan of milk chocolate and ready salted or plain hand cooked chips. That is it. And there's really only 2 brands well, 1 brand of chocolate. So my system only really knows a couple of bad things. The rest of it was pretty all right. So I don't feel all these problems. Yesterday I had my first raw chocolate. I had a nice piece of raw chocolate. It was heaven. I treated myself. And that was just lovely. And I went to bed on that. But that was a treat. That was an absolute treat. But I'm not craving anything particularly. It is amazing. So I'm really happy. But I think that has taken me a very, very long time. I was saying to you both yesterday to get to this point. There was a time I lived on pasta and sauce, a packet of. You add milk and butter and that, you mix it around, stick it in the microwave. I lived in that for over a year. I mean, seriously, when I met Bruce, that's what I ate.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know how to work food. So I've come out, and yes, I wasn't a big salad fan. Salad to me was lettuce, tomato, and bean sprouts. And what is it? And cucumber. And now I can have a salad which is full of, I can have a salad, it's a mountain of salad and go, oh, that's delicious. And avocado and beetroot and all sorts. So, but that's taken almost 20 years to get to a point where I can find that appealing. Because yes, if you put that down to me even 5 years ago, I'd have been going, oh my goodness, how am I going to eat? What? And now so it's been a long journey to get to this point of detoxing. So I feel very grateful that I'm not experiencing much apart from pure happiness. Of my energy is raising. My body feels great. I'm jumping out of bed in the mornings. I have waited for about a year and a half to feel this good in the morning. So my life is amazing at the moment. I'm getting up, and because we're getting up and we're stretching, and we have a beautiful space to do that, and the weather's been lovely. So I'm ready. I'm getting totally ready for what's coming in July, what's coming at the end of this year, because we've been raising all this energy so we can make things better and create more positivity in our world. So who knows where we're going? But yes, we all have different journeys in this, and that's what makes this month absolutely fascinating to me, is because we're all coming at this from completely different states of health as it is.
There's relative or different amounts of, I guess, previous addictions that were dropping through this. So as you say, you had sort of crisps, potato chips, and a brand of chocolate. I had caffeine, milk, so dairy, sugar, wheat, loads of stuff. Just feels like so much stuff that's letting go. The day before, on Tuesday, I was feeling quite kind of standard thing in my diet, and then suddenly it just all disappeared. And probably the one thing that I really want more than any of the things that I've given up is probably coffee. It's not even because of the caffeine, it's because of the taste, it's because of the texture, it's because of the whole way that it feels when you have it first thing in the morning and a freshly brewed cup of coffee, and it's just awesome. And yes, exactly. So Carol's not enamored by it, but I absolutely adore it. And yeah, I think I will be finding a way to either reconcile that, or maybe offering myself a conscious treat every so often, and taking myself to some place that does a really good coffee. So not Starbucks or Costa or any of those high street ones, but somebody that knows actually how to make good coffee. With no offense to anybody that works in either of those two places, but your coffee isn't good. Yeah, looking forward to, though, not having these things in my diet that I've just
as an unconscious pattern.
Yeah, absolutely. Just sort of, I eat because I'm hungry, and I eat this because this is what I eat, and it will make me feel better in this moment. Whereas now it's very much a case of, I am not feeling I need to eat. In fact, I'm looking at the act of eating quite oddly just now. I've got a little one here who was standing in front of me last night eating something in my face, and it just seemed to be a weird disconnection from eating. It seemed like such a sort of distant activity.
Memory. I remember when I used to eat.
It's really, I can't describe it properly, but it's just a bit like that. I feel so disconnected to the act of eating, and yet I'm not hungry. I feel good. I probably need to have a bit more juice, a bit more green. I'm feeling sort of I need to have something more green in that juicing, and potentially bringing in a bit of fibre over even the next couple of days. I know that we're going into sort of a 3-day juice, but I might sort of just make my juice a little bit more pulpy, I suppose.
I think we should be flexible, we should be intuitive to what our body needs. We have a rough guideline, we're going raw, so as long as we particularly stick within that raw guideline, you know, everything's possible. But again, we set out a pattern of 3 days juice, 2 days smoothie, and then 2 days raw. But right now we're just loving the juice. For me, all I drank before I came on this was water with lemon. So for me, this is the biggest drinking treat I've ever had. I've never drunk so many beautiful different things in a week. So I'm in drinking heaven, other than giving in. I was like, oh wow, this is amazing. What have I been missing for the past few years? See, my journey with food, I feel like I'm coming home. I feel like I'm coming home to good health, and I'm coming home to who I am.
Yeah.
I'm not, my body isn't craving the rubbish. My body isn't craving it. It knows it's all there and it's ready to give myself treats whenever I'm ready to give myself treats again. I don't want to deny myself anything, but I also want to be very, very aware of what I'm putting in. And once your body's cleansed, which is what I'm hoping to do in this month, then anything you do put in, you'll get instant feedback as to what it's doing to you. And then you can decide there and then whether this is something you want to keep doing every now and then. There's something you want to do every day. There's something you'll never do again. And that's the biggest treat I can give myself in my life right now, is to be able to determine what's good for me and what's not. But yes, because before you're just eating and eating and eating and yeah, I'm going to eat now and I'm good. And when I'm preparing food for the kids, I realize just how much you just taste things. I'll taste this and I'll taste, is this too hot? Taste this. This too. There's an extra bit of grape, an extra bit of water. There's a bit of cheese. And you just, how much we hoover. And it's like, I didn't realize. I remember this last time I've done this. I remembered this is what I do. But yes, I mean, every time you stop it and you make food for people, you're like, oh yes, I would have stuck that in my mouth. So it's a wonderful practice in conscious eating, is detoxing, because yes, your food becomes your thought friend.
Supermarkets are tough. Anywhere where there's food or people eating is pretty tough. I found out over the past couple of days. So it's not even just the unconscious eating habit that's the one to kind of get past or through, but indeed going to shops where there is just this, and it's incredible because you start to see the food and just how much of it is purely there, I think, as a means to get you to buy it as opposed to anything else. There's actually little value in the food that's available. Well, I mean, yes, there's always nutrition to be had from the food.
But your body has to work so hard to get the nutrition out of it that the waste your body has, expelling is way more than what you're getting.
Yeah, and it's more just how I'm viewing the environment as opposed to any sort of, I guess, a reflection or judgment on
what you're seeing,
what I'm seeing. Yeah, but it is just.
That's probably what I would say.
I think it's much like the act of seeing somebody eating. I feel really disconnected now to the food that's in there, and even now, or in the past few days, I mean, it happened really quickly, but the shops that I'm going into to buy food from, I'm even kind of not comfortable in some types of supermarkets and more so in others, because I just feel that, some of them too big and too kind of, it's weird. I'm kind of discovering this relationship at the moment with food and with shopping for it, and just how I'm relating to it all. And there's lots of little changes like that going on at the moment, really, in a lot of aspects of life, from waking up. I mean, you woke me up at 7 o'clock this morning when you jumped out of bed, and I felt, at that point, I just felt compelled that I had to sort of meet you there. So otherwise I would have slept more, to be honest with you. I think I was saying to Carol, I think, and JD this morning, that my dreams over the past few days, where I typically don't have memorable dreams or sort of continuous dreaming through the night or night after night, has been really this. I mean, the last night was probably the third night, and last night was really kind of, it just seemed to be constant. As soon as I closed my eyes, I was in a dream, to the point where I came back out, and they were very kind of vivid and colourful. Just full on. It's kind of, oddly enough, it was like stepping out of the day into, what I'm doing during the day is now happening at night. So it's just full on all the time type of moment.
That's really odd, because that's what I was in, and I've changed it to now I'm going to bed and I'm falling asleep, and I feel what is the best night's sleep I've had, actually. I was expecting it to be the other way around. I'm going to bed and sleeping, but during my day I'm way more connected. So I feel I'm getting even more visions, or I'm getting even more understanding of what I'm seeing. Like you're in the supermarket, you're seeing it in different places. I'm seeing it, I guess, in my general, I'm not going to supermarkets. So I'm seeing it more in the plants and the trees and in the sunsets and in the moon. So, but yes, I'm definitely more connected, but I'm going to bed and I'm out. And that's amazing. And I'm waking up going, hello. I have not done this since I was a kid.
So I feel a little more energized today. Even though I am generally not the morning person at all.
You're definitely been up. You were down the stairs before me this morning.
Yeah. Yeah, and I recognise that disconnect in the shops when you're just walking past aisles and aisles and aisles of food going, I can't eat that, I can't do that. I'm not even going down this aisle at all, I'll even look. It's just,
Because
it's all processed.
Because you're realising that that's probably not, especially when you're being good to your body, you suddenly recognise all the stuff that's out there that's really not good for your body. And yes, we're resting our body, so we're being even more dramatic with what we're doing. And by going raw, the idea is your system rests, so you stop having to process all this. You're back, we missed you.
We did.
Yeah, we did. So your body rests, and by eating only raw, you're allowing the body to detox from all the other stuff that you put in there that your body doesn't like to process. And by all, you've got your chocolate bar.
We've got some Kinder.
And see his body woken up at this morning. I want my chocolate bar. I was like, wow. Do you know by the time Gemma was 3, I don't think she had chocolate.
No.
So that's the difference, because
You've maxed yourself out with it.
we said to everybody who wanted to give Gemma chocolate before she was 3, look, she's going to grow up, she's going to go to school, and people are going to give her things and we can't control it, and that's exactly what happens. And Gemma still doesn't eat much chocolate, and we can sit in a house full of chocolate and Gemma never touched it. I mean, we didn't, but when you have Easter, the kids got Easter eggs and things like that. And yes, we've still got our Easter eggs here. Gemma wouldn't eat it. And Bodhi, on the other hand, though, because Gemma has been given stuff, has been eating stuff, because I'm not a cruel person. I'm not going to say, yes, you can have something and you can't. So Bodhi, on the other hand, though, has grown up from the age of 1 eating chocolate, and now she gets up at the age of 2.5 and asks for chocolate for breakfast. I find that rather soul destroying. So what we're going to do
is change it to raw chocolate.
Is we're going to change it to make some nice raw chocolate treats, but it's all a work in progress. So
where we had a drastic shift in our diet, the children, we've had to be mindful of the fact that yes, we could force them into a new pattern very quickly, but we've probably come up against some resistance. But there has been, I think, a maximising of the amount of, they've been increasing the amount of juice, fruit, veggies that they've been consuming over even the past few days. But even as we were winding up into this month, they were starting to kind of get an increase on.
Bodhi's a fruitaholic, well. I should say. Bodhi and Gemma, before Gemma had diabetes, the pair of them are no stranger to the fruit bowl. I mean, they had both open access, and Bodhi eats 4 apples a day before we went raw. And yes, the pair of them love fruits and grapes and things like that. So for the diabetes, for Gemma, this is about reintroducing food, because a lot of fruit got lost because it's fruit or chocolate. And then Gemma suddenly had, or muffin. Suddenly Gemma had to choose between, she didn't get muffins before. And then she's been eating, she was eating, 2 muffins a day, 3 muffins a day. You're like, oh my goodness, we can't sustain this. So again, it's a good motivation for us to bring back in fruit as our daily pattern. But yes, Bodhi she eats more chocolate than Gemma ever did, but she also eats an incredible amount of fruit.
Oh yeah.
But she's not a veggie fan. Whereas Gemma is an incredible veggie fan, and she eats veggies till they're coming out her ears. We were afraid she was going to turn into a carrot just when she came out of hospital. She was eating 1 kilogram of carrots a day as free carbs, and that's not free carbs. When you get to 1 kilogram of, and she was eating that, and she was eating a punnet of tomatoes a day, and because you're allowed to on diabetes, because that does come under free salad. But yes, Gemma kicked that to the max.
Yeah, I don't think that anybody expects a 7-year-old or 6-year-old, as she was at that point, to be eating that much fruit and veg. Children in this country, I think, aren't acclimatized to that amount of fresh food, and so the medical specialists don't think that carrots or tomatoes or such like are going to make that much of a difference in a carb count. But yeah, 76 carbs in a kilo of carrots is a full meal addiction.
She was spreading out every day.
She was spreading over the course of her day, so that was really affecting the amount of insulin. She came off that though. She came away from
she's down. We managed to get the food up
and reduce the amount of insulin that she's taking in, and so this is kind of a next step from that. It's balancing the diet, it's reducing the insulin, and it's providing them with more energy, nutrition, healing, and health.
I can see your tongue. Yeah, I think it's going to be a balance of working with some. We need to find some good raw food specialists to help us out here, I think, and help us understand how we can give Gemma all the nutrition she needs through eating the most healthy. And to me, eating the most healthy isn't eating animal products. It isn't eating anything that isn't beautifully grown and natural. So can we find everything we need from that category? I believe we should be able to do that. So that is the ambition. And on top of that, can we use the natural healing properties of the food we're growing and using to heal diabetes? And we know we can do it in type 2 diabetes. There are definitely cases out there, people saying they're doing it in type 1 diabetes. I believe it. Gemma has just been diagnosed. And I believe if we get in there right now and feed her with the most healthy thoughts, the most healthy food, then we've got the best chance in the world for her pancreas to actually heal. They don't know why it shuts down. They don't know why. Perhaps they won't know why it's restarted. So we can always try, and I believe in trying. I believe in aiming for the highest possible vibration.
Well, I think that's
so
it.
Let's move the vibration upwards, and as you do that, it feels more and more possible.
And
Gemma's doing an amazing. You've seen her in the videos. If you watch it, we're dancing every day. So you can watch Gemma's journey throughout this entire year. You can watch before she was diagnosed with diabetes. You can watch her get ill.
End of April.
Yeah, and then you can watch her come back to the fact that she was in sports day running. She was third in her entire year at running, and the girl was dying. And then wow, and that was with muffins. But even
healing properties of muffins, that we're selling here.
That's healing properties of kilogram of calories a day. And I mean that was a predominantly salad-based diet that brought her up to that. But I mean, she did eat chicken. We were buying chicken for her to try and get her proteins up. But again, she was eating lots of free eggs because eggs are free protein for children. Again, once a diabetes diagnosis has been made, you learn a lot about food really fast. So we've learned an awful lot about what's carbohydrates and what's not. And yes, but when I was reading the manual in the hospital about what we're meant to eat, I was getting quite upset. You're meant to eat only this amount of junk. I'm like, no. What do you mean? Increase our junk to that? What a ridiculous notion! No, if you have to, you can eat. But that, I mean, it's phrased as that. But not everybody actually eats that amount of junk. Some people are actually like Gemma. Wasn't a good diet. The first thing they offered her was a synthetic toffee yogurt, and I'm like, what are you giving her?
Yeah.
She's got diabetes, and you're giving her something, and she didn't eat it because she
white bread sandwich and yeah. And
it's heartbreaking.
Horrible apple juice, and yeah,
it's absolutely heartbreaking. So I'm hoping that we get to work with the hospitals. I'm hoping we get to work with people with diabetes, and we get to find a way to actually bring health into diabetes in a way that it doesn't seem to be in our awesome health system. I cannot fault our health system at all. I just think we need to learn a bit more and learn a bit better about what good nutrition is and what good health is. So shall we move on with the day here? So I can't think of anything else. We're heading tomorrow's Monday. We're starting another week of juicing. I'm looking forward to that. We might, I don't know if we'll eat anything today. We're all at different places at the moment. And JD's coming into this, and I think you're a bit skeptical at starting a 3-day juice. Is that right?
I'm missing food. I'm missing the social aspect of sitting together and actually having a meal. I'm missing hot stuff. And lots of even just a sandwich or something at the moment. Just yeah,
pastrami, pickles.
I can avoid the meat. I think I could comfortable in not eating meat at all for the month. But yeah, there's definitely things that are more challenging than others, and it's gonna be tough being out there in the big world world.
Well, that's why we've got this retreat space open here. That's why we're making our space.
I get that. We couldn't do this without having our own space to do it.
Yeah.
Without supporting each other, without being here every day I mean, that's it. We're opening with love. We're opening with meditation. We're giving ourselves that space. And as we progress through this month, we're opening our evening space into holding space as well. So I think that bookend of love and holding will really help you understand and come into this, self-love of, I know I'm missing all this stuff, but what I'm giving myself is so rich. That
it's just up here though. In my body, I don't feel any different at the moment. I'm hoping that what I am doing for myself is going to keep me there, but it's always in here. It's like I want this, I want that. Oh, cheese, and eggs.
JD's obviously going to be quite tormented here for the fact the kids are going to be eating all this stuff that he's wanting. But you are. It's going to come up as a clash, and it's going to be your journey as to understanding what you're giving yourself. I want this stuff. If I give it to myself, what will I get from it? I'll get that instant satisfaction, but then my body has to do all the processing work, and then I'm undoing this month of, because it's only 1 month. I mean, it's 1 month of treating your body like a temple. It's 1 month of giving your body the most nutritious meals it could possibly ever get, and allowing it to rest and get rid of all the rubbish. So any rubbish we put into it in this time is going to undo that. So but you can look at it and you can eat rubbish in this time and totally do it consciously. And that's totally cool. I mean, it's your body, it's all our bodies, and we can then deal with the consequences of, okay, you can have a blowout. I don't know if everybody can manage 30 days. It might be really difficult.
Find out. Day 5 so far. 5 days into dancing, and I thought we weren't gonna. Well, I think it was gonna be a tough challenge, and now we're at 186. So.
And is it a tough challenge to dance every day?
No, but it's not 24 hours a day.
No,
we're dancing 24 hours a day if we're, you know, sort of, if we're restricted to a particular movement all a day, then maybe.
Okay.
Right. Yes. Let's move on.
So we'll see you all tomorrow for Monday, and another. We'll have Gemma back with us. We'll see how she's done in her first day of being away. So we've been monitoring her closely while she's been away with Grandma and Grandpa. Thank you very much, Grandma and Grandpa.
Done a good job.
Yes, so they're all in their own wee zone of learning how to manage diabetes. So that'll be great. Next weekend, we're hoping to get both children away for a night, and we'll see how that goes, because yes, we'll follow the journey of that. But we've had a night, this was the first morning we've not injected insulin in 2 months. So yes, that meant quite something to me today. And last night was the first night I went to bed without measuring Gemma's blood sugar. So that's become a habit. My life has become run around
there you go. Good on you,
this
buddy.
measuring of blood sugar. So that was my first night off. This was our first night off from doing all of that, and that was really appreciated. So thank you, and let's keep raising this energy and getting more healing energy into us. By the end of this month, it'll be rocking. All right, see you tomorrow. Love to Gemma, miss you.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye. Be RaWsome.